It seems like there's still a little bit of E3 to go around. Let's talk. What up, viewers? What up? What up? Calc Soups here, and today is Friday, June 21st, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. Like I said, not actually part of like Summer Games Fest or E3 that was, but there was a summer Nintendo Direct that happened this week, and boy, howdy did it have a lot of bangers in it. Um, Most of the titles I'm going to be talking about here are all first party titles, so there's a lot more Mario and Zelda to go around. The first thing that they showed at the Nintendo Direct was a new Mario and Luigi game. So very much like a co-op open world third person or 3D platforming kind of game. So yeah, it definitely looked like something you can play with your friends and something I will probably play with Angela. And it had a confirmed launch date of November 7th. So excited to see that coming out of the Nintendo Direct. One third party title we'll talk about is Among Us is finally adding roles. And that was announced in the Nintendo Direct. Something that has existed within like the board games and social deduction games for a long time, but excited to see kind of Among Us roles kind of roll out, add a little bit more flair to that game. Moving right along, there will be another Super Mario Party game. Always a fun game for you to get stars stolen from you randomly by Boo and never get them back, and somehow that's how you lose the game. But as someone who does enjoy getting the family together to play through Mario Party, excited to see another one coming down the pipe with online multiplayer. You can play up to 20 people online. Looks like it's kind of like more of like a survival mode than it is like an actual full board game experience. That has a launch date of October 17th. And the game I'm really excited for is the first Zelda game that's actually about Zelda, the princess in Hyrule. It should have been called The Legend of Link, which I thought would have been a little bit funny, but it's called Echoes of Wisdom, and it's got like the same 3D or 3D. It's got the same kind of clay art style that the Link's Awakening remaster had. And yeah, you get to run around an open world setting with Zelda. Yeah, it looks very fun. And actually is gonna. I think it's gonna also like scratch the like summon creatures and have them fight for you itch that I want in almost every game I play. So yeah, I think it looks like a really cool game that I'm very much looking forward to playing. And last but not least, not this is obviously not all the titles that were there, but just the ones that caught my eye. After I think almost a decade, we got to see Metroid Prime 4 again. And yeah, we actually get to see a little bit of gameplay. This I didn't write down a date for this, so I don't even know if there was one attached to it. It's probably another 2 years in development. But yeah, it showed off Metroid gameplay, first person. So looked like a fun game. Hoping to see a little bit more for it, but they're definitely kind of scratching that same like cyberpunk 7 years of silence itch that we sometimes get in the games industry. So excited to see that got reinvigorated this week. But there was a ton of titles. If there's ones that you think I should have kept my eye on, feel free to leave a comment down below and let me know all about that. Moving right along, the prince that was promised, everyone's been waiting for. All your friends are going to be AWOL this week because the Elden Ring DLC is out. Shadow of the Erd Tree has launched already, and it included a live action trailer. I'm always excited to see people developers put the effort, or marketing teams put the effort into like putting together a live action trailer. This one was a little bit less live actiony, as in like there's not a lot of like cosplay or people in costumes in this, but it was more like people in a park getting called to the lands beyond, something like that. And then they did have a cute turtle with a hat, so they definitely hit that point. But then it was just kind of cutting back to like gameplay. But anyway, I digress. A lot of your friends are going to be gone this weekend playing Shadow of the Erd Tree. And if I were smarter, I would have been playing Elden Ring to get me ready for Shadow of the Erd Tree over the last month. But I am kind of looking forward to hopping in and trying to relearn the ropes as I explore a new realm and then potentially even finish the game. So looking forward to Shadow of the Erd Tree this week and however long it takes me to jump back into it. League of Legends has a new summer game mode. They always roll out kind of something experimental to play through kind of every summer. And this one is very much a version of Vampire Survivor. So you get to play as one of several different League of Legends characters, but you're just trying to survive. They even had like a co-op mode, which just seems really cool and something additive to the Vampire Survivor experience. Although I think Vampire Survivor has had co-op for a little while now, but yeah, League of Legends doing their own Vampire Survivor game mode. I'm curious if it will be big enough to spin off into its own game, or if this will be a permanent game mode. But yeah, it looks like it has all of the Vampire Survivor, auto attacking experience, monster killing that you will enjoy in the League of Legends skin. So there's nothing that Riot can't rip off and try and pull off themselves. So looking forward to that as well. Ubisoft got kind of valued into announcing and launching Beyond Good and Evil this week as it leaked. It leaked early in the week, and so eventually Ubisoft came around and just said, "Okay, it's announcement time." But they leaked and announced, and then they're going to launch next week Beyond Good and Evil 20th anniversary remaster. So I don't know much about Beyond Good and Evil. I didn't play the first one around, so this might be a good time for me to step into it. But yeah, I'm really surprised that the turn of events that happened with Ubisoft and this game has kind of been on the back burner for a long time. And I don't know if Beyond Good and Evil 2 is officially dead yet, but it's interesting to see that IP kind of keep zombie living on. So I bet a lot of people are excited for that. NVIDIA, the game peripheral, the computer part company, has become the most valuable company in the world, coming in with a market cap of like 3.33 trillion. Didn't want to use the wrong letter for that. 3.33 trillion, which I didn't know we were measuring market caps in trillions at this point, but they've passed Microsoft and Alphabet, the Google company, and Apple, to become the most valued company in the world. It seems like this is more of other companies are buying their PC parts to kind of help their AI efforts. NVIDIA also seems to have the best grasp on AI, at least from all the other companies that are all fighting for that. So it seems like that's what's kind of driving up their success. But yeah, I mean, AI is definitely a market mover, and in this case is helping NVIDIA be the most valuable company in the world. So just wanted to call that out. Speaking of another top 5 company, Apple is taking some time, and rather than reiterating upon their AR VR headset, the Vision Pro, that's $3,500, they thought maybe rather than make a second one that's more expensive and keep doing that, kind of the iPhone of their, if you will, they've decided to, hey, maybe we should make this cheaper and more affordable for consumers. So, hey, Apple can make things less expensive and not do proprietary BS like they usually do. So, yeah, hopefully we can get an affordable. I don't know what affordable and Apple don't really go in the same sentence, but yeah, hopefully more consumers can get their hands on their AR VR Vision Pro headset when they start to drive down costs. So looking forward to that, because it's laughable that it was even $3,500 to begin with. Moving right along, a Valheim is coming to a tabletop near you, and not the tabletop RPG that I would have wanted, but it's actually coming in board game form. So you'll be able to play some co-op Viking survival game. I'm curious how the survival aspects come in, or if it'll turn into runs, or maybe there's a legacy component. Yeah, I'm really curious, or maybe just played over the course of 20 hours. I'm really curious what the actual gameplay of the board game will be. But yeah, Valheim, one of the most successful games of the last couple of years, especially in the survival genre, is coming to Kickstarter. I don't think the Kickstarter is live yet. I don't think the Kickstarter goes live until September or so from the article I was reading. I'll have a link down below. You can check that out yourself. Yeah, so it'll hit Kickstarter. And also, I don't think it was Kickstarter, but it'll hit crowdfunding sometime later this year. But it was cool to see that Valheim is coming in board game form. From the same company that made the Deep Rock Galactic board game, which I do own. So I will probably definitely be interested in the Valheim board game. There's actually full games that launched this week, not just DLC. Still Wakes the Deep is a first-person horror walking sim from the Chinese Room, people that made Everyone's Gone to Rapture, and yeah, it launched this week. It seems like it's got a little bit of middling reviews with the 74 Metacritic. It seems that it's a little straightforward, so I don't know that you're making a lot of choices in your very linear narrative, but I hear that the vibes and the scares are there for you. So yeah, and it sounds like it's only like a 4 to 6 hour playthrough, so definitely not a large commitment to playing through it. And I'm looking forward to it. As someone who's played Everyone's Gone to Rapture, I like first person horror and walking sim, all of those. Get my hackles raised. So yeah, I'm looking forward to picking that up sometime soon too as well. Now, I didn't know that this was a thing, but apparently that's already been announced. A Quiet Place the game has been in development for a little bit, and we actually get to see a little bit of gameplay. I watched the gameplay. I read through the article, and it was talking about it won't be retreading any of the content from like day one or the first two movies. It's just kind of intended to be its own standalone thing. I'm very excited for that. I assume that playing it with headphones on is going to be very nail biting as you kind of walk around and try and find the quietest surface to walk upon. Maybe it'll be a little bit of thief-like in that way, where you'll have to like stealth around and make sure that you're walking on quiet surfaces and all that kind of stuff. So, I'm looking forward to A Quiet Place, the game. Last but not least, Sony has confirmed that they are continuing to work on an Uncharted 2 movie, the second Uncharted movie. I don't think Spider-Man's not doing very much right now, so I assume that he's going to be back for a second Uncharted movie. I don't know if Marky Mark's going to come back for it, but I'm surprised that this is kind of still in the pipeline. I thought that the first one, I think it made some money at the box office. I'd have to go back and check like Box Office Mojo or something, but I'm surprised that it made enough money. I know that the reception, at least as we've reflected on it lately, has not been positive. So I'm surprised that they're like, hey, this thing that I don't think a lot of people are wanting, it's still coming out. So I'm surprised to see that this week. And Sony, I think they could direct that elsewhere, but I guess we can get a watered down Indiana Jones movie, sometime in the next couple years. But that's it for this week. Let me know if you feel I forgot anything down below in the comments. But as always, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a super day. I hope you have a super weekend, and I hope you have a super day. Bye.